I'm Kim, and welcome to a gentle yoga class. Today we're going to start standing. So let's establish a nice solid Tadasana or mountain pose before we move along. You want your feet about hip width apart, and you want to lift all your toes off the mat and then put them down slowly, one by one. Pinky toes first, and the other toes as slowly as you can to get them good and grounded in the mat. Come up on your tippy toes and back down onto your heels to get all grounded into all parts of your feet. A little tension in your legs. Want your hips a nice neutral pelvis, not tilted forward or backward, as neutral as you can make it. And you want to lift your torso by raising your arms like you're reaching for something on a top shelf, and then lowering them back down. And then your shoulders you want to roll up, back, and down. And this takes your neck into better alignment because the neck still tends to be tilted forward a little bit. So try pressing your head back against your hand to get it in even better alignment. And then your hands can be relaxed. Let's take a couple of breaths here to enjoy this nice, strong mountain pose. And listen to your breath while we're here. Is it short or shallow? And if so, try and lengthen your inhales and your exhales to whatever's comfortable for you. And try and breathe in and out through your nose to tap into your parasympathetic nervous system. You can either have your eyes closed or gaze gently at the floor. Take another breath or two. And then on an inhale, let's start connecting our movement with our breath. Inhale, reach up with your arms all the way, using your whole breath all the way up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. One more. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Now cross your right foot over your left foot and reach up with your left arm. Inhaling up, exhale over, a gentle stretch, nothing extreme. Try and keep your arm back over your head as much as possible. Inhale up and over with the same arm again. Inhale up and over. One more time. Inhale up and over. And then switch. Cross your left foot over your right foot. Inhale, reach up with your right arm. Exhale over. And again, up. And one more. And uncross your legs and step out with your feet about shoulder width apart for five-pointed star and goddess. Inhale up for five-pointed star. Exhale into goddess. Five-pointed star and goddess. Five-pointed star and goddess. This time, inhale five-pointed star. Exhale to a gentle fold to your right. Inhale up and to your left. Up to your right. Up to your left. One more each side. Good. Now place your hands on your thighs, bend your knees, and then shrug your right shoulder forward and twist your torso a little to the left. Inhale back to center. Shrug your left shoulder forward. Twist your torso to the right. And center. And left. And center. And right. And center. One more left. and center, and right, and center. And come back up to standing, bring your feet together. And come into a gentle chair pose with your hands resting gently above your knees, not pressing down, just a gentle pressing of your hands. And then step back with your left foot to your knee. And inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist your torso to the left and lower your arms. Back to center, and to your left again. Back to center, and to your left. Now inhale, center, twist to your right. And center, and right. Center, and right. And come back, inhale, center, your hand gently on your knee, and step back up to the gentle chair pose again. And step back with your right foot to your knee. Then inhale up, twist your torso to the left, lower your arms, and center, and left, and center, and left. Inhale, center, then to the right, and center, and right, center, one more time, to the right, and center. Now come down to tabletop and establish a nice solid tabletop with your wrist right under your shoulders. If you're having any wrist discomfort or you just want to give your wrists a break, you can make fists with your hands and keep your thumb on the outside to protect your thumb. And check your alignment, your spine nice and long, your neck nice and long, not sunk down or cranked back. And then take an inhale. Exhale, look over your left shoulder, your left foot. Look so far that you can almost see your right foot. Shift your hips a little to the right. Inhale back to center. Look over your right shoulder. Shift your hips a little to the left. And back to center. And over your left shoulder. And center. And right. And center. One more to the left. Center and to the right. And center. Then on an inhale, lift your head and your tailbone towards the ceiling. For cow, really extend your abdominal muscles. Try not to compress your lower back. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Do a few of these at your own speed with your own breath. Inhaling in cow. Exhaling in cat. Good. Then come to stillness at tabletop and straighten your left leg. Flex your foot. Press your heel back towards the wall behind you. And take a breath. And bring your left knee back in, straighten your right leg. Really press that heel towards that back wall. Then lift your right leg straight up and your right leg straight up and your left arm straight out. Really reach with your fingertips for one wall. Press with your heel for the opposite wall to lengthen your back. And exhale, lower down. And raise your right arm, left leg. Really reach with your fingertips. Press with your heel. Exhale, lower down. Alternate left arm, right leg. And down. Right arm, left leg. And down. One more, left arm, right leg. And down. And right arm, left leg. And down. And then press back into child's pose for a couple of breaths. Nice deep inhales and exhales. Trying to breathe through your nose still. Inhales and exhales. between your hands and walk your hands over to the right side of your mat and place your left hand on top of your right hand and take a breath. Then walk your hands back to center and over to the left side of your mat. Place your right hand on top of your left hand and take a breath. And walk your hands back to the center of the mat and press up into tabletop and walk your hands out to the top corners of your mat and walk your knees back so they stay under your hips and melt down into puppy pose for a couple of breaths. Next, inhale, look between your hands and slide forward onto your stomach. And get situated for Sphinx pose with your elbows right under your shoulders. If you're having any back discomfort, you can separate your legs just a little bit. And then spread your fingertips wide apart so that you can really grip the mat. And then once you're situated for Sphinx pose, use your fingertips to shrug yourself forward on your hip bones just a little bit more to get a little more activation in your abdominal muscles. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. So you can do anything you like with your head. You can look around. You can look down, just try not to lower your shoulders. You can try shrugging alternate shoulders forward. Right shoulder, very slowly, just to try it out. Left shoulder, right shoulder, left shoulder. And come to stillness. Lower all the way down onto your stomach and take your arms by your sides. And we're going to raise up for locust on an inhale and hold it for a couple of breaths and lower down. So on an inhale, raise both your arms and your legs. Inhale up and breathe. Exhale down. Inhale up and breathe. Exhale down. One more, inhale up. Exhale down. And make a pillow for your head with your hands. And bring your toes together and lay your heels out for a crocodile pose. Take some inhales here and exhales, and you could rock your hips or stay still. Try and breathe so deeply here you feel your back fill up with air all the way. The next inhale, press back up into tabletop. And bring your right foot through for a low lunge. And then once you're situated in your lunge, inhale, go a little deeper into your lunge. And exhale back into a hamstring stretch. Inhale, lunge. Exhale back. One more, lunge. Exhale back. And we're going to hold it here for a breath or two, so make small adjustments. Flex your right foot if you're not already. Try and flatten your back just a little bit more. Next inhale, come forward onto your foot and walk your foot over to the left side of your mat and lower your knee for pigeon. And in pigeon, your back leg can be straight or it can be bent to any degree. You'll get the same effect in pigeon. So just decide what's best for you, for your body. And if your leg is straight, look back and make sure it's as straight as it can be. And you want to be balanced so that you don't tip over when you lift your hands up. So if you tip over when you lift your hands up, you might want to put a pillow or a blanket under your right hip to keep you balanced. So let's inhale and exhale, slowly lower down. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths, so make small adjustments. Flex your right foot if you're not already, the foot closest to you. And try and lower your left hip closer to the mat on an exhale. Nice deep breaths. One more, inhale and exhale. And then press yourself back up to pigeon and back into tabletop. And let's do a few more cat and cows here. So inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. Do a few at your own speed with your own breath. And then come to stillness and step through your hands with your left foot into a low lunge. And on an inhale, go a little deeper, raise your arms. Exhale back, a hamstring stretch. Inhale, lunge. Exhale back. One more, lunge. Exhale back. And we're going to hold it here for a breath or two. So again, make small adjustments. Maybe flex your left foot if you're not already. Try and flatten your back just a little more. Next inhale, come forward onto your foot and walk it over to the right side of your mat and lower your knee for pigeon on this side. And again, your back leg could be straight or bent to any degree. Main thing on this side is if you tip over, if you lift your hands and you lose your balance and tip over, tuck something under your left hip on this side. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower slowly down. Take some nice nourishing inhales and cleansing exhales. On an inhale, use your hands to walk yourself back up. Come back into tabletop again. And let's melt back into child's pose again. And if child's pose is uncomfortable for you at all, you could separate your knees just a little bit, not necessarily a wide knee child's pose, but just separate a little bit so there's a little more room for your pelvis to settle in. Take a few breaths here. Your arms can be back by your side in child's pose too for a change. And next inhale, press back up into tabletop. And come down onto your elbows and for elbow plank. Straighten your legs for elbow plank. And then once you're established in your elbow plank, drop your heels to the right, come up on your right elbow, and your right hand will come forward for side plank on your elbow. And take an inhale. On the exhale, lower your hips a little bit. Inhale back up. Exhale down, all the way, and up, about halfway. And one more, exhale halfway, and back up. And exhale all the way back to elbow plank. Then drop your heels to the left, come up on your left elbow. And your left hand will come towards the front of your mat. Come up into plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower your hips halfway. Inhale back up. Exhale halfway. And up. One more time, halfway. And up. And then come back to plank on your elbows. Bring your knees down. Come back up to tabletop. And then press up into downward dog. And look between your hands and bring your right foot forward, your left foot forward, walk up to a forward fold. And bend your right knee, keep your right hand on the mat, reach up with your left arm for a twist. Exhale, lower your left hand to the mat, bend your left knee, reach up with your right arm for a twist. Exhale, your hand back to the mat. On an inhale, bend your knees if you need to. Flat back, hinge at your hips, reach for the sky, all the way up. Exhale, a little left bend. Inhale, center. Exhale, a little right bend. And center. And exhale, a little back bend. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands, heart, center. Okay. Now you want your feet where you would usually have them for chair pose, because that's where we're going to go to next. And on an inhale, first we're going to come up on our tippy toes and reach for the sky. Inhaling up. Exhaling into chair. Inhale up. Exhale, chair. One more, tippy toes, and chair. And hold it here and twist your torso to your left. Drop your elbow and take a breath. And back to center and to your left. And back to center. Sit a little deeper. And inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at your hips. Inhale, rise halfway, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands, heart, center. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold, flat back. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands, heart, center. One more. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands heart center. Okay. Now, you might want to turn your mat sideways for this next portion, so you'll be able to see more of what I'm doing. You have to turn your neck sideways if your mat is front to back. So I'll give you a minute to turn your mat sideways if you like to do that, or you might just want to get off your mat so you can face me the whole time. We're going to start in a standing straddle, and then bend your left knee. We're going to be mirroring each other. Bend your left knee for warrior two. Raise your arms, and then check your warrior two. Check your knee. Your knee should be over your ankle as much as possible, not in or out. Feet grounding into the floor. Nice strong legs. Arms shoulder height. Take an inhale. Exhale, straighten your front leg for a reverse triangle. Inhale, bend your left knee for extended side angle. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Bending your left knee again, your left arm over your head. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Inhale, extended side angle. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, peaceful warrior. One more time. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior two. Into reverse triangle. Into extended side angle. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, peaceful warrior. This time, inhale, straighten. Exhale, shift your right hip out. Reach with your left hand just a little bit. Exhale over into triangle. Take a breath. Inhale into pyramid over your left foot leg. And inhale, windmill your arms up into warrior two the other direction. Now you should have your right knee bent. Good. Check your warrior two on this side. Check your knee over your ankle. Feet grounding into the mat. Strong legs. Arms shoulder height. Take an inhale. Exhale into reverse triangle. Straightening your front leg. Right arm should be over your head. Inhale over into extended side angle. Bending your right knee now. And your left arm over your head. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior two. Into reverse triangle. Into extended side angle. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, peaceful warrior. One more time. Straighten, warrior two. The reverse triangle. Into extended side angle. Inhale, straighten, into peaceful warrior. This time, straighten. Exhale, shift your left hip out, reach with your right hand for triangle. And take a breath. Into pyramid. Then bend your right knee and windmill your arms back up and over into standing straddle. Take your hands behind you and clasp your hands. Straighten your arms. Take an inhale. Exhale, hinge your hips, flat back, forward fold. Try and press your arms a little more towards the floor, above your head. Then release your hands to the mat Keep your right hand on the mat. Reach up with your left arm for a twist. And exhale, lower your left hand to the mat. Reach up with your right arm for a twist. And exhale, lower your right hand to the mat and walk both your hands towards your right foot, or reach your right foot if you can. Walk your hands back to the center of the mat, over to your left foot. And walk your hands back to the center of the mat and walk your feet in about halfway, half the distance they are. And bend your knees for balasana, or squat pose. And your heels can be off the ground. Just think about lengthening your spine here. Pressing your elbows against your knees a little bit, get a little bit more of a stretch, and breathe. Then on your next exhale, just sit on down on the mat. And bring your feet together for butterfly pose. Use your hands to prop yourself up to get up nice and tall on your sits bones. And grasp your feet with your hands. Take an inhale. Exhale, slowly fold over to whatever's comfortable for you. Try and keep your back as flat as possible. You can use your elbows to press out on your legs just a little bit. And breathe. Then release, and let's do a few back rolls. And then in one of your back rolls, stop in Navasana or boat pose. Either bent knees or straight legs, whichever is good for you. Get a nice tension in your abdominal muscles, nice flat back. On the exhale, lower your legs just a little bit. Inhale back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. One more, lower and up. Then exhale, lower your legs to the mat. And take your hands back behind your hips just a little bit and press up into reverse plank. If reverse plank is not accessible to you, you could do reverse tabletop, which is here. So wherever you are, take a few breaths. Your head, you can look up at the ceiling or down at your toes, whatever's comfortable for you. And exhale, lower your hips to the mat. And then recline for bridge pose. And you want your heels almost touching your middle finger. We're going to do a few dynamic bridges to start. So we're going to raise our hips and our arms up over our heads at the same time. So inhale up. Exhale, lower slowly down. And up. Lower down. One more, up. And down. Next bridge, we're going to hold for a few breaths. You might not want to take your arms over your head, but maybe roll your shoulders under your back. So inhale up. And breathe. Next, exhale. If your shoulders are tucked under your back, untuck them. And slowly come down vertebrae by vertebrae. And then bring your legs straight up. If you need some support for your back, you can put your hands under your sacrum. And then try and roll your ankles so that the soles of your feet face each other and away from each other. Together and away. Together and away. Together and away. I'm going to do some pointing and flexing. Some ankle rolls one direction. And change direction. Open your legs into a triangle. And take a breath. Bring your legs back together and do big, slow bicycles, one direction. And change direction. And come to stillness and keep your legs and your feet together, like they're glued together, and do small circles one direction. And change direction. And then come to stillness and give your legs a good shake. Good. Then come to stillness. And bend your knees and place your peace fingers between your big toe and your second toe for our happy baby. You can either rock here or stay still. You could bend your knees or have straight legs, have one bent, one straight. Whatever's comfortable for you. Nice deep breaths here. And release your toes and bring your legs together, bent knees for hug knees. You can either do tight hug knees, grasping your elbows and staying pretty still. You could walk side to side here if you want to. Or you can grasp your shins for a looser hug knees, and you could massage your back with small circles with your legs one direction. And change direction. You can also do individual circles with your legs separately. And then keep holding onto your right knee. Hug it tight to you and straighten your left leg. And alternate. Bring your left leg knee in, straighten your right leg. And alternate. And alternate. One more each side. Alternate. And alternate. And then bring both your feet to the mat and place your right ankle on your left knee and reach through either behind your thigh or through to your shin for reclining figure four, whatever's best for you. If you're grasping your shin, try and press your shin up a little more towards the ceiling to get a little more pressure. And if you're grasping behind your thigh, you can press on your right leg with your elbow. Get a little more pressure there too. Take a few breaths here. Have your neck relaxed, head on the ground, head on the mat. And flexing your feet if you're not already. And release your left foot to the mat and switch. Right foot on the mat, left ankle on right knee. And then decide where you'd like to be for this reclining figure four, either grasping behind your thigh or your shin. And breathe. And flex your feet if you're not already. Then release your feet to the mat, to the floor, and then lift your hips up a little bit and shift them to the right. That gets your spine in really good alignment for a twist. And then straighten your left leg and take your right knee across for a twist. Straighten your right arm back behind you perpendicular. And stay here for a few breaths. So you can try lowering your right elbow, your right shoulder closer to the mat. You could apply a little pressure on the outside of your right knee with your left hand, bring it closer to the mat. Look back over your right shoulder. Roll back onto your back again. And lift your hips up and shift them to the left a little this time and lower them. Then straighten your right leg. And take your bent left knee across. Or twist on this side. And take your left arm perpendicular behind you. Keep breathing. And roll back onto your back again. And straighten your legs full length, your arms full length above you. Do a nice full body stretch on an inhale. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Exhale, release. We're going to take a very, very short Savasana. So make any small adjustments you might want to. You want to put a little prop under your knees or take your legs out more into a star shape like a yin Savasana. We'll roll over onto your side
or to your stomach. You don't have to stay on your back. But for just a few moments, try not to think about anything. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Everything's okay. Start making small movements with your fingers and your toes, your wrists and your ankles. Maybe do another full body stretch. Then roll over onto your side to assimilate your practice. And thank your body for doing yoga today. Then come up into a comfortable seated position. And I encourage you, if you have time when we're done, to take a little longer for Savasana. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a half hour. I think it would be well worth it. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you feel great. I hope to see you again. Namaste.